Well, hello, everybody. I see that we already have several people in our chat tonight, and that is thanks to my wonderful Plus One. So I am Heather, if you are unfamiliar with me, and this is my channel, Plus One Thrifting. And with me tonight for our interview, my Plus One is Misty, the one and only Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter. And I even have a special sound effect for you. Applause!
Yeah, oh gosh.
I was trying that out. I hope it worked out okay. So thank you so much for joining our channel. Hey, everyone who's here tonight, thank you again for watching. I will encourage your questions, and I will try to throw them up there for Misty to answer. So be sure to let me know. If I don't get to your question right away, I will try to just repeat it so I can get to it, or put it in all caps lock so I can really notice you for sure. So, but thank you, Missy, for coming. I'll give you a chance to say hello to everybody.
Hello. I see lots of my friends. I see Michael, and I see Cindy and Deanna. Oh, and there's Maybell. Maybell is saying hello. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Pete. Maybell. I'm going to let Maybell out. Just hang on one minute.
No problem. Hello, everyone. Again, thank you so much for coming. Maybell, that is such a cute name for a dog. Or just a cute name in general.
She's just a little 5-month-old puppy, so she's a little something.
Does she need a shoe?
She is a little Jack Russell Terrier.
Aww.
With a lot of personality.
Well, we have the chat's going fast, so I'll do my best not to miss any questions, but let's go ahead and get started. And I wanted to ask my question. My number one question is, so obviously the majority of the people who are here know you, but if someone doesn't know you, what video on your YouTube channel do you think you could recommend that would give them the most of who Misty is? I know that's a hard one.
That's a good question, though. I would think probably because I have playlists, and probably really any of my shopping with me videos, because I'm very much kind of all over the place, which can get some comments. I can get some comments that I'm making them sick, but I honestly, I'm very much in the moment, and if I see something and I'm trying to film, I'm just there. And it's it's hard trying to film and look and talk and not make sure you're not running into somebody. And so really the thrift with me, or the shop with me's, or where I'm kind of out in the world, that's me in a nutshell. I mean, my hauls are me in a nutshell too, but just kind of like to see how excited I get over finding certain things. Probably I would say, if you want a good laugh, I would say go to my very first YouTube videos. Those are funny.
I think that's what I like to do on all channels, is go to their very first YouTube channel, like before they bought any lighting or anything, and it's like super dark.
Oh
So.
yeah. I had like dark black hair. Oh yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Someone said the Christmas hoarder video. Yeah, those are pretty good too. I like my Christmas stuff.
Okay, well then, so speaking of your YouTube channel, I know you do haul videos, I know you do your live sales, shop with me, you have a good variety, but what is your favorite to film? Not edit, but to film.
And not edit. I would say haul videos. I like to film haul videos because I kind of like, I think of my camera as like I'm talking to someone.
Yeah.
So I feel like that if I can kind of show the things that I love and the things that I find, I can like show it to people. And so I don't know, I like the haul videos. I feel like they're more personable to me. Oh, and I love my sale videos too. Yes. The live sale videos where I'm actually live and talking to someone.
No, I love your live sale videos too. I feel like I get a really good piece of like who you are personality wise and how you interact with the live chat. But the haul videos too, I think that lets everyone know like what kind of eye you have for the things that you purchase. So that's a really good one. Now, what is your least favorite to edit?
The shop with me videos. The shop with me videos, especially the ones where I'm going to like 3 or 4 different places. They take a lot of time, and they just take. I just got done editing one right before this. Well, actually it was a haul video, but it was I did all kinds of weird things in it, so I had to edit a lot of things out of that. But the shop with me's are difficult because you have to worry about the music, if there's music in the background. So you have to think, okay, I have to like drown this music out, or I've only done one voiceover because I'm not a real big voiceover person because I just like to be in the moment. I have had to do them before because of the music, but yeah, shopping with me videos are the hardest ones.
Well, we have our first question from Cindy, who I believe has a live sale coming up tonight at 9. So she says, what made you think of YouTube to get into as a job as well as reselling?
Well, I just, when I quit my teaching job and I started doing reselling full time, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos just to kind of get inspiration. And I always just thought, well, I can do that. I can do that. I'm going to try that too. And I did it, and I did it for a little while. And then I thought, I don't want to do this anymore, and I didn't edit anything. It was just, I didn't know how to edit. It was just, this is what I filmed and this is what went up. And they were mainly haul videos. And I didn't do it for a little while. And my husband said, you should really maybe start doing it again. And it's a lot of work, and you have to stay consistent, and you work for a very long time without making any money. And, it's a lot of time, and it's a lot of consistency for really not making any money.
Yeah.
For a while.
I know you put in a lot of effort, and people are saying they love your videos. So people appreciate, they like the hard work that you put in. Now, I'm going to ask one of my questions, which is, what would your dream thrifting vacation be, and where?
Well, gosh, my dream thrifting vacation.
Yeah, and if money wasn't an issue.
I would like to go out east. Okay. I would like to go out. I want to go to Brimfield. I want to go to like the flea markets out there and all of the thrift stores out there. I've never been out east, and you can find a lot of neat old things out east. I think that would be like, like Boston, Pennsylvania, New England, that kind of area. But I would also, one of my dreams is to get in the car and just find all of the hole in the wall thrift stores that are not the Goodwills, not the St. Vinny's, just like a mom and pop thrift store. Just finding these like little hidden honey holes, I think would be a neat thing too, just to kind of, you would do a lot of traveling and stay in hotels and that kind of stuff. But I think that would be fun.
Someone said, oh, they're just being funny. No, I love that. I love the road trip. My mom and I, we did that. We live in North Carolina, and we did a road trip to Atlanta thrifting the entire way, and it was the best.
Yeah, we cannot go anywhere on vacation without checking out the Goodwill, and my whole family knows that. I mean, my kids will put me on a timer though. They'll put me on a timer.
Pete's Repeats, thank you. Welcome to my channel. I think they're new to me. Have you ever done the Route 127 yard sale?
I haven't. I used to do a lot of the route whatever yard sales, and they used to be good, but then it would just. I don't know. I haven't had a lot of really good luck with my last couple ones. I went to the Highway 50 yard sale. I don't know. I just haven't had real good luck at them.
I've never been to any. I haven't even heard of them. And did you get your love of thrifting from your parents?
Yes. Yes, I hated it as a child because we always went to yard sales. I mean, ever since I can remember. I mean, um, my parents would take me as a baby. They would go to
Mm-hmm.
yard sales and thrift stores and auctions and flea markets. And I just kind of thought that that's what everybody did.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, doesn't this what everybody do? But then you get to a point when you're like 11, 12, 13, and you're embarrassed and you don't want people to know that you've gotten your clothes from a yard sale. And my dad worked for GM. So, I mean, it's not like we depended on thrift stores for everything, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just what we did. And I thought that's what everybody did.
Yeah.
And
And it's not what everyone did.
no, that still shocks me to this day.
Katie from Vintage and Vinyl says, what is your Holy Grail vintage Christmas Santa item?
Winking Holt Howard Winking Santa, the set. I want the picture and the glasses, like the original set, or the starry-eyed Santas.
And how about thrifting road trip on Route 66 from Chicago to California?
You know what, Jamie? That is actually probably replaces it, because I've always wanted to go on Route 66. So that would be a really good idea. Now, I have gone thrifting in San Diego and Los Angeles, and it's not too shabby, I have to say. Now, you can't find a lot of mid-century things out there, but, you can find, I mean, when I was in California thrifting, I could find a lot of primitive kind of things that no one really wanted out there in California. And then I could bring them home and sell them in my brick and mortar. But now, living in the Midwest, I can find a lot of mid-century modern that people out in California want to buy. So
yeah,
it's a regional thing, which I think.
Yeah, the last time I was in LA County, I noticed that they have a lot of really great vintage, like 40s, 50s clothing there in abundance, to where here we don't. I'm on the East Coast of North Carolina. We don't get a lot of vintage clothes like that. We get a lot of 80s clothes.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't want that. And so, have you ever went to the Bens?
Girl, yes, I've
She's
gone
like,
to the Bens lots of times. And I love the Bens. I haven't, my husband and I, that's what we do for Valentine's Day. We spend our Valentine's Day going to the Bens in Indianapolis. There are 3 of them in Indianapolis. And honestly, ever since everything that's happened in the world, I haven't been back since Valentine's Day. So I've not been since then.
Oh, this is a good question. Did you have a YouTube mentor before you got started?
You know what? I would say she wasn't necessarily like a mentor that I would talk to, for, like person to person. But Ann Eckhart, I love Ann Eckhart. If you are not subscribed to her, she does a lot of vlogs and she's a reseller, but she does talk a lot about YouTube and like her YouTube journey. And she's written a book on how to do YouTube. She has her channel is the Reselling Report. I love Ann Eckhart. Love her. Also Alex from Chapter 2 Vintage Co. She was kind of my helper to help me understand things, because she'd been doing it for so long.
That girl's makeup is on point every time.
Isn't it? She's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I'm just like staring. I'm like, what?
She's beautiful. She's beautiful. I think that it's really, really important to have someone that you can at least kind of bounce ideas and questions, to. Alex and I have become very, very close.
Yeah, that's great. And the Reseller Report, I just discovered that channel, and I have put them on my interview wish list.
Yeah. Oh, I love Ann.
I have a wish list of people I want to interview. So.
And if you're watching, you should let her interview you.
It is very hot up here. I'm like upstairs. It's very warm. I'm like, it's so hot. So, okay. Oh, everyone's wondering what the Goodwill bins are, but people are already asking. So it's a lot of fun. Just make sure you remember to wear gloves. That's my pet peeve. Do you wear gloves when you go?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm dealing with a lot of, like, when you're sorting through glass.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a germ thing too, but also a safety thing. You don't want to get cut because there's just straight up trash in the bins a lot of the times. But I have found a lot of vintage Christmas blow molds. I probably have found 7 to 8 ceramic Christmas trees in the bins. That there's good things to be found in the bins. But someone has just recently told me that Goodwill in Indiana, at least, are doing Goodwill live auctions, like at a location.
What?
Yeah, so I need to look into that a little bit more. But yeah, Goodwill auctions that are like at a location.
In South Carolina, or at least in South Carolina, I don't know if any other place, but they're doing Goodwill pallet boxes because they had so much stuff donated during COVID, the quarantine.
Oh, wow.
Now they're just selling it on the pallets and not even sorting it. So it's like for like $30, you buy a whole pallet of stuff.
That's a risk.
Yeah.
You don't ever know really what kind of stuff people are donating.
Yeah. No, it is a really big, well, I mean, it's $30 risk, so it's not high stakes. Any tips for someone wanting to start a YouTube live sell?
Well, I would say with YouTube live sales, I think that it's important not to just have live sales. I think that you need to have other content besides just having live sales. I think because you need to build up your audience. I think that's the main thing. You need to, if you have 12 subscribers, it's probably, you got to start somewhere. And I understand that. But I think if you start making content before you have a live sale, you start to build up those followers and, you need to have an audience. Otherwise, you're just sitting and talking to nobody. And just because you're having a live sale doesn't mean that people are going to tune in. I've been doing live sales since January, and my first couple ones, I didn't sell everything. I maybe sold 5 things, but I just stuck with it and gradually, started building an audience, and now they do pretty good. But I think that you need to build an audience first because you need to have people come and watch your sale.
Yeah. No, for sure. My mom and I learned that the hard way, but luckily we had one person watch the entire live sell, and it was Patrick, and he bought many things.
Yeah.
So it was really nice.
It takes a while. It really does. Having to build up that audience, and then you want people that want to continue to come back every week, and then they'll tell their friends, and then it kind of gets bigger and spreads.
What do your kids think of your YouTube fame? Do they think you're famous?
Oh gosh. No. Oh no. No. I don't even, my son is not even subscribed to my channel because he says, I don't want to get those recommendations for all the people that, he's 18. My daughter is subscribed. My daughter actually had a YouTube channel before I did, and it was always kind of a competition thing, like I'm gonna get more followers than you, and then she made a lot of videos and her editing is great, but then she just kind of stopped and I just kept with it. So I have more subscribers than she does, but you have to stick with it. You have to be consistent with it. But no, she gets annoyed and embarrassed, and I don't think she watches me all the time, but that's okay.
That's all right. All right. Do you find it harder to sell items the more new resellers start doing live sales?
It can. Well, I think that the hardest part for me is that there are many times when I thought I'm going to have another sale. Like I'm going to have a pop-up sale. But it's so hard to find a time because all the time slots, have been taken, and we were doing a calendar, but then that kind of got really hard to keep track of because people would have a sale and they would change their date. They were already on the calendar, and then that would be confusing. And it was like a full-time job for Corey to keep up with that calendar. It's hard. It has been a little bit more difficult, but I think that people know, like when they come to my sales, they know what kinds of things I'm going to have every week. So I think that is an important thing too, is with your audience, they know what types of things you're going to have. each week. People know that I like kitschy things. They know that I like, mid-century modern things. And I do have some true antiques. So I think that, building up a audience, and they know what to expect when they come to your sales.
Absolutely. And that, repeat buyers from you, because you
absolutely
ship well. Your stuff doesn't break.
Yeah, that's an important thing too, I think. And I always say, like your most important thing to keep in your packaging is your identification, so people will remember you, know who you are.
Mm-hmm. And Katie wants to know, what's the best way to build up your YouTube audience?
Make consistent videos. Do things like this. Have someone interview you. That's a good thing to do. Being involved in the chats. I think that, I know that Katie has a great YouTube channel.
Yeah, she does.
And, a lot of people that are in this chat know who Katie is because she's in the chats a lot. So I think participating and commenting on videos, participating in chats, doing interviews, I think also maintaining a social media presence on Instagram, especially Instagram or Facebook, and tying all those things in is going to help, draw attention to your channel.
Well, and Katie's such a great example because she shows up and supports so many of us. And then also on Instagram, she's constantly sharing. I mean, like, just her profile is the calendar for all live sales and everything going on, because she shares it. She shares everything.
She does.
So, and which makes everyone really appreciate her. So I think that's a really good way of just supporting one another.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. And then, which I've received so much support from all of you, so I greatly appreciate it. And Cindy wants to know, how do you stay positive along the way?
It's hard some days. Some days I'm not so positive. You can tell that I'm kind of having a little bit of I guess I shouldn't say it that way, but so you can tell when I'm like not on Instagram a whole heck of a lot, you pretty much know I'm having some sort of a day, either a extremely busy day where I'm trying to play catch up, or I'm just having a not very positive day. I think it's very important to remain positive even on those not so positive days, but sometimes it is pretty hard to be positive when people will make little nasty comments on your videos, and how much hard work that you've put into it, and it never fails. It seems like too, whenever I'm editing a video and I'm thinking, this is a crappy video, nobody's going to watch this. I'm embarrassed to even put this out. Those are the videos that do so well. And then the ones that you're thinking, oh, this is a good video, then you'll end up getting a lot of like horrible comments on it, and it doesn't do very well. So there's never any rhyme or reason, it seems like.
Yeah. One really great advice Patrick gave me one time was like, good comments, bad comments, they all help your channel grow. So just focus on that.
It's all engagement. The down votes, the thumbs up, the thumbs downs, someone saying a yucky comment. It is still engagement. And, you are the author of your channel. So I look at every single comment that I get. I try to, I cannot reply to everyone, but I at least acknowledge by liking it. But I do go and I read every single one. And if someone's being not very nice, I'm going to delete it because I don't want my channel to be a place of any form of negativity. So, you can do that. You can take off comments that you don't think are very nice. And I think that you should keep it positive.
Absolutely. Do you get recognized now? Like when you go thrifting or?
Yeah, I do. Not a lot, but at certain places, like when we went to, the extravaganza in Ohio, we were recognized here now and again, because it's a lot of antique people that are in, and resellers that are in an area. I've gone to the bins a couple times and have been recognized. I've been like looking through things at Goodwill, and someone will say, "Hey, Misty," and I'm looking at them like, who are you? I don't know who you are. But then I forget. Oh yeah. So yeah, every once in a while, it's very, very odd. But yeah, it does happen from time to time.
That's funny. Oh, here's a good question. Where did your dislike for clowns come from?
You know what? I'm going to go grab, I have this picture. It's on my refrigerator. My mother gave this to me for Christmas, and let me go get it.
Go do it. All right, while she's there, guys, the chat is moving very fast, and I'm trying to grab as many questions as I can from you. So if for some reason I overlooked anything, just repeat it again, or just let me know that, hey, I have a question that I didn't pull. So just let me know if I missed your question. All right, go ahead, Missy.
So as a child, we always went to the Shriners Circus. And my parents forced me to have my picture taken with this certain clown named Peanut. And I hated Peanut. He creeped me out. I didn't like him. And they were like, no, you were getting your picture. It was like a yearly thing. We got to have your yearly picture with Peanut the Clown. Oh, look, there's Peanut the Clown again. I hated Peanut the Clown. So here's Peanut the Clown. And my brother and there's me looking very ravishing in my glasses, and I hated Peanut. So my mother gave this to me for Christmas. I hated Peanut. So I don't know. He just always creeped me out, and I always thought, why would someone just walk around in clown makeup? I mean, why would you want to be a clown and frighten children? I don't know. I just don't like them.
I don't blame you. But it's
they're creepy.
Yes, they are. I agree. But I did marry my husband. He actually is from his family used to work in the carnival. So he's a carny.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So we have
being a clown though.
It's kind of worse. Have you ever been to the carnival?
Oh yes. I have been to the carnival.
So yeah, so that's our little antidote when we invite new people over for dinner. So how often should you post on Instagram to advertise your YouTube channel?
Every time you post a video.
I mean, I don't know if anyone knows this, but I come from a virtual assistant background where I used to help a lot of bloggers with their social media. And the rule that is normally given about social media is the 80-20 rule. So like 20% is you trying to sell something, 80% is trying to be personable. So just don't shove it into your face too much. And I actually made that mistake when I was trying to get some subscribers. And then I looked at it and I was like, I don't like myself right now. So I stopped asking people to subscribe. So just every time you have a new video up, for sure, I would only do it once though.
Yeah.
Too much.
You can add it to your stories and it not flood people's newsfeed. Now I do what sorry, that is Maybell, and my husband just got home and he's going to get Maybell. She's being a naughty girl. But you need to get your name out there. You need to get it seen, and but like you said, you don't want it to be annoying. You don't want to be annoying about it. So
yeah, no, for sure. So especially when trying to break a sub milestone. Okay. And that wasn't a question. That was just a statement. Sorry. I'm trying not to miss any questions. Here we go. Here's another one. Do you have any horror stories from when you first started?
Well, I made a lot of bad buys. I've wasted a lot of money buying things that I probably shouldn't have. I think that I don't really think of any horror stories. No, I mean, I think just wasting money, wasting time. But I don't have like anything that I can think of that was like something gross or scary or like people ask me all the time, have you ever experienced things that are haunted, that you bring home like antiques and stuff? I don't have any of those kinds of stories. Yeah, I should knock on wood. But mainly just wasting money, but you learn, you waste money on something and you learn a lesson from it. So I don't necessarily think that maybe it's a waste because I've learned from it.
No, I completely agree. And Katie wants to know, does getting recognized bother you, or do you think it's fun? I think you kind of answered that earlier, but
it's kind of weird. I mean, it's fun, but it's also a little weird.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, because there was one time I was at church and someone goes, I watched your video, and I go, oh, but like, why? Can we not talk about it?
I know, I've done that. Oh, I love your videos, and I'm always like, why? I do that too. Why?
I'm like it's weird for me when I see people I know watch me. It's easier for me to like, like I'll never see this person again who watches my channel, but that's just me. Besides family and pets, what would you save from a house fire? Oh, you have so many treasures.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. What would I say from a house fire? What would I say from a house fire, Mark? There's too many things. There's too many things.
All right. Well, then let's not just say one item. How about one collection?
Oh gosh. My Santas, probably.
Your Santas?
They're all the way up in the attic right now, so that would be a hard thing to go and save them for.
They're going to be the first to go.
No, I would say my Santas probably, and my Prixies, my Santas and my Pixies. I know that they're called Pixies, but to me as a child, I've always called them Prixies, so that's just what they are.
Oh, this is a good question. What's something you sold on eBay that you regret letting go?
You know, I don't think that there's anything that I've sold on eBay that I regret letting go. There have been things in my brick and mortar that now that I think about it, I regret letting them go. We sold a lot. I sold a lot of mid-century modern pieces dirt cheap when we first opened because it just wasn't something that I think it wasn't something that was selling in my area. So we have sold a lot of really cool mid-century modern pieces for way too cheap. But I can't really think of like anything in particular. It's just kind of like lots of different things.
All right. I think I am up to date with all of everyone's question. If there is a question that for some reason I didn't get, just let me know. And I'm trying to find where this was so I can take it off now. The chat's moving. They really like your peanut story, Misty.
Oh, peanut.
And sharing. That is a terrifying picture.
It's horrible. Why would you do that to your child? I don't know.
No, I know. Well, and even some of the, like, if you look up like old vintage Santa pictures, they're terrifying.
Oh no, those are wonderful. I love those. In fact,
do you?
I'm checking. I love them. In fact, I'm gonna share another thing, but this is something that's coming to my house because I had a friend go pick them up for me. Do you see all those?
Oh my goodness. Is that like
those are all coming to my home. They're all Russian Santas.
Oh my goodness.
So those will be available for sale very soon. But yeah, I've spent a little bit of money on them, but it's an investment. But I think there are 16 of them coming.
Oh wow. Wow. All right, Miss Kim has a question from Oh My Vintage, and she has a really great channel. I just love listening to her talk.
So sweet.
She is. Where and how did you find out about doing live sales?
You know, I had seen on Facebook some people doing some live sales, and I just thought, you know, I could probably try that. And it was something that I had talked about for a while, and then just kind of thought, I said I was going to do it, and then I just didn't. And then one day I just decided I was just going to do it. And I didn't know of anybody else doing them on YouTube. At the time, I'm sure that there was. I'm sure this isn't something that I invented. I'm sure that there was probably, you know, and even in the vintage, you know, market. But I started it in January, and I just thought I'm just going to do it. And I think I would do like 20 items, which was a lot for me back then, but now it's evolved into 60 items that I do every week. But yeah, it's just something that I just wanted to try. And the timing was
Awesome.
really, really good because of everything that happened, in the world. So a lot of people were staying home. So it ended up
And
being a pretty good timing.
Well, Charlotte wants to know when you're coming to decorate their home.
Charlotte, I would be there tomorrow. I want to go to Europe so bad I can hardly stand it.
All right, let me see. There was another question that I missed. I'm trying to ask. Oh, your love for theater.
I have been involved in community theater since I was about 10, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something I've always enjoyed doing. I was very shy as a child, believe it or not. And the theater really kind of helped my shyness. Now I do not know a stranger. I'll talk to anybody. But I love being on stage. I love performing on stage. I love the theater. I have a hard time going to see productions only because I'm jealous of sitting in the audience and not being in the production. So yeah, I love the theater. It's just, I miss it with the corona. It's our theater, community theater isn't performing right now, and don't know when that's going to happen again, but yeah, I miss it terribly.
And right before, I used to do musical theater when I was in school, and my kids are finally a little bit more independent. So I was going to try to do theater too. I was going to audition for The Music Man, but then Corona happened. And so that was canceled. And I'm like, well, there went my like one little bit of bravery. It's gone now.
I know.
So,
well,
yeah.
I ended up taking my kids when they were younger to audition because we had lived here. We're not from this area originally, and we moved here when our kids were small. And I took them, I saw auditions in the paper, and I thought, I'm going to get my kids involved in the theater. And it was for A Christmas Story, Ralphie and The Christmas Story. Yeah. So I was like, well, if you guys will interview, or if you guys will audition, I'll audition, trying to get them to do it. And I end up getting the role of the mother, and they didn't get a part.
Oh, poor kids.
So, I mean, they were involved, and I didn't go expecting that. I was just doing it because I was trying to get them to do it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Fun. I love the theater too. Misty, if you could be a superhero, what would your superhero name be, and what would your power be? Oh, it's a good one.
Tackinator. The Tackinator or something. I would collect all of the tacky items in all of the world, which I think I already kind of do. I think that's already my superpower.
I like it. Those are what would your outfit be?
Oh. God. A shirt with a big T on it. I don't know. And a flea market basket, like my old lady flea market basket. I would collect all of the tacky things.
I love it. What was Misty's most valuable find to date? Oh.
It isn't even something that vintage, but it's those darn Nora Fleming charms that I picked up at a Goodwill very quickly. As at the checkout, there was a bag full of them, and I thought, oh, I think my mother-in-law has some of these. And I just threw them in my cart, and I ended up selling them I made about $3,000 to $5,000 on these Nora Fleming that I picked up in 2 seconds at Goodwill. I could have actually made more money on them. I sold them for too cheap. But yeah, so that wasn't even like a vintage thing. It was, I mean, I guess it's probably vintage, maybe from the 2000s or the late 90s, but yeah. The most valuable vintage thing I think I've picked up is a book that I sold for over $500.
That's a good one. All right, so I'm gonna go back to some of my questions. So, what was your very first collection that you personally started collecting, and how old were you when you started it?
Figurines. And I was, gosh, maybe 7 or 8. I always had collections of like just little small little things, just little miniature things. And I liked figurines. I remember I had some Family Circus figurines and some Cabbage Patch figurines. Yeah, just like miniature things, little dollhouse figurines and things. Salt and pepper shakers have always been in my life.
That's awesome. I collected Precious Moments. Nothing really exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and probably like unicorns. Like I was a true 80s kid. So I had all the the horses.
Stickers.
Yeah. The scratch and sniff stickers I collected.
Oh my gosh. I remember getting like, if you got a good grade on your spelling test, you'd get a scratch and sniff sticker. I didn't get those very often because I wasn't never a very good speller.
Well, there's lots of people who want to know what that book was that you sold.
It was a book around the turn of the century on card tricks, on how to do card tricks. It was a first edition. It was something, I think we picked it up for $1 at a yard sale. It was just an interesting looking book. And I say this a lot, but you can't underestimate books sometimes because books can be valuable. Books take a lot of research sometimes, and sometimes you can't find any comps on them at all. And then you just kind of have to take a chance. But books can be pretty profitable.
No, I agree. Do you sell or buy many records, Katie?
I buy them more than I sell them, but I have sold. We actually had a stack of those early records, big band era records. What were those made out of, Mark? Those really thick, like a celluloid record. That from the 20s and 30s, they were still in their shipping container. They'd never been opened. So I sold several of those for $80 to $100 a piece. And records too. I mean, Katie knows a lot about records. There are a lot of records out there that can be pretty profitable too. You just have to ship them very carefully. That's the shipping of records, especially those. What was that? So, especially these really fragile records because they can shatter.
No, they can. I love records too. I'm actually trying to find some jazz records to add to my collection.
Yeah, I like to listen to records when I'm in the shop.
Yeah. I have different moods. When it's raining, it's a jazzy and bluesy kind of day. So besides your love for visiting, how do you pronounce that?
Mackinac.
Okay. Island. Is there another? Okay. Is there another place you would like to travel to internationally?
I would love to go to Italy or Rome or Greece.
Yes.
I don't know. It's somewhere that has like ancient history. I would love to go and see the ancient ruins and things like that. I think that would be pretty neat.
Oh, here's another question. Oh, from Christina. What is the most amazingly kitschiest, is that how you say that, item have you found while thrifting?
The most amazing kitschiest. Well, thrifting. Okay, not at antique stores. Thrifting. I found actually she's still on my shelf in my bathroom. It's a little Holt Howard flower. Well, that's not really kitsch. I don't know kitschiest.
You stumped her.
It is a stumping. It's a very stumping question because I find a lot of kitsch. You know, I love anything anthropomorphic, and that's pretty kitschy. I don't know how much kitschier you can get than anthropomorphic. That's a hard question. You know, people ask questions like, you know, what's the best thing you've ever found thrifting? That is such a hard question to answer to me. Because I almost everything I find is kitschy, because that's always what I'm looking for. So there's not anything that I can like just say that's the most amazing kitchen thing I've ever found. I don't know.
Would you have one of your favorites that you can think of?
Well, anything Holt Howard.
Yeah.
I love anything Holt Howard. I love anything, like I love me a good human looking apple or a human looking banana. Weird eyes. You know, I always look at the faces. I like things with faces. I think that's why I like anthropomorphic things so much, because they have faces. But I just went to, like, I found this guy. It's Humpty Dumpty.
I love it.
You know, I like things with the face. He's missing his nose.
But look at those lips.
I know. He's something.
You would love to come up to the Appalachian Mountains, because we have so much like folk art, and they put faces on everything.
Yeah, like the ugly jugs and stuff
like
those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all over here.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Blue Ridge Mountains. So let me go to the next question. Where do you look for comps? Is eBay the best place?
eBay is typically where I go to first, although I do have a subscription to WorthPoint. And I do use WorthPoint a lot. WorthPoint is very, very good if you are needing if you need some help with descriptions in your eBay listings. You can kind of get some ideas from WorthPoint. Basically, a lot of the adjectives and stuff to describe items, you can find a lot of that different kind of ways to put in your eBay titles. But typically eBay sold comps are what I look at the most. But it's always very important to also look at the for sale comps, because it gives you an idea if the market is oversaturated with plush Humpty Dumpties. You know, I may not want to spend a lot of money on this if there are 50 other people that are trying to sell this same thing.
Yeah.
So it's always important to look at what things are selling for, to get an idea of what you can start it at selling it for, or what you can make out, depending on what you want to spend on something, to see how much money you can make. But it's important to look and make sure that there isn't a lot of competition out there, And now if you get something for a quarter, and it's worth the risk. But yeah, looking at both the sold and the unsold, the listed, is important.
Does your family and friends gift you vintage items?
Oh yes, all the time, and I welcome them. I don't hold against anyone if for my birthday they go into Goodwill and find me a birthday gift, because there are good things to be found at the Goodwill. So I think that that's kind of you hear, I don't want to give them that as a gift because it's from Goodwill or it's used. That doesn't matter. It's a cool thing that someone collects. It doesn't matter where you've picked it up from. It's no different than buying something on eBay.
Yeah, well, my Goodwill gets a lot of just old stock from Target, and it's brand new. So I buy a lot of that, and just I put it in my gift closet.
Yeah, and just recently I picked up when we went to Ohio, I picked up a couple of puzzles that were brand new in the package. And if you are out and about, especially we're coming upon winter, puzzles sell very, very well on eBay. When you go to the thrift store, I always look if they're new and sealed. Those are the only ones that I buy. If they're sealed, a lot of people donate brand new puzzles, and they sell very, very well on eBay. So yeah, new puzzles do well.
That's one of the first things I look for when I go to estate sales are puzzles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Puzzles and games. Yeah, absolutely.
What's your favorite vintage show to watch? Is that like a TV show
to watch or YouTube show to watch?
I'm not sure.
Let's
go with TV.
I'm not going to say what's my favorite YouTube to watch, because that might start a controversy. um, I like American Pickers. I do like them. There really isn't that many. I like, Storage Wars, and there really isn't a whole lot. Honestly, that's a shame.
Do you watch any shows from like TV Land?
Oh, those kind of vintage shows. I thought you meant like vintage, like, yeah, like, Pawn Stars or something like that. Oh yeah, I love Bewitched. Yeah, I love Bewitched. I Dream of Jeannie. I love Lucy. The Brady Bunch, Leave It to Beaver, Golden Girls, all of those. Three's Company, all of them.
Yeah, no, those are all great. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
I would say Christmas Vacation would be my favorite Christmas movie.
That's a good one. All right, I'm going to try to fly through these because we're about to get to the end. We have a lot of the little announcements we want to give some shout outs to real quick. So what do you think is being made now and future generations will want to collect? Oh, that's a good question, Cindy.
Being made now. I think those Funko Pops probably, they make some of those in limited editions. Certain Hallmark ornaments, I think, that are, commemorative. Anything commemorative that isn't mass produced, which is a hard thing to come by these days. Things are so mass produced. But yeah, I think those Funko Pops probably would be good. And any kind of movie memorabilia, action figure stuff from certain movies will probably be pretty good.
I'm trying to get to any more questions. Here we go. Here's one that I see. Do you get frustrated when an item doesn't sell on eBay, and how long will you leave it posted?
I will leave it posted until it sells. I don't take things off. It's different for me now since I'm working out of the shop though too, because I have a lot more space. When I was working out of my home, the space was very, very limited. So it's a little bit of a different mindset for me. But with your eBay listings, if something isn't selling, you need to stop the listing, hit sell similar, change some words in the title, swap some words around a little bit, put vintage at the end, or, you don't just swap a couple of words around a little bit, change up the title, maybe look at your pictures, even changing the order, like put a different picture as your title picture, making sure they're nice and bright. Will give, you're putting a new listing out there. So I think that's very important. I do that all the time. I will end a bunch of listings and then just sit and relist them. You have to keep eBay active. That's one way that you can keep your eBay sales active, or your eBay shop active, is by changing up those listings. And a lot of times you'll be surprised. All of a sudden you'll be like, oh my gosh, I've had these things listed forever and they're selling now. If you put a little bit of time into it to zhuzh them up a little bit or rearrange them a little bit, then it may sell.
That actually worked for me.
My eBay store has not had hardly any attention lately, because the live sales take up 2 full days of my time. So, and then I have one day that I go sourcing. So it's a lot of time.
All right. This is probably going to be the last question before we start seeing our shout outs. They've looked at your eBay, but can't remember. Do you take offers?
Absolutely. Every single thing listed in my eBay store is listed as best offer. I mean, that's just something, as doing this my whole life, I've always asked people for a better offer, when you're dealing with vintage. So yeah, I price it a little bit higher so you can negotiate a couple dollars. I think if someone even gets $2 off of something, they're getting something out of it, but yeah, I everything that I have is listed best offer.
All right. And before I end our question part and make sure I didn't miss any really great questions, if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing?
I'd still be teaching.
teaching?
Mm-hmm.
What grade did you teach?
There are days that I teach. My degree is in early childhood education. I did reading remediation. I would take children out of the classroom and work on their reading comprehension and reading skills.
Mm-hmm.
But my heart is with early childhood education, preschool, kindergarten, first grade.
Mm-hmm. I taught kindergarten for 2 years in a private school before the school closed down, and now I homeschool my 3 kids. So yeah, it's great.
It is. I could never homeschool my kids. I can teach other people's kids, but I have a hard time with my own children. I think we have expectations of them that are a little bit higher.
Yes, I noticed that I had a lot more patience with my students than I do my own children. I'm like, what's the problem?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to teach your own children.
It is. It is a challenge, but we'll see what the future holds. So I have a special place in my heart for teachers because it's a hard job but very rewarding. And I wanted to see about I think there was one more really great question I wanted to ask before we left. Oh, is there anything super, like what's coming up in the life of Misty that you want to, anything new and exciting?
Well, kind of. And in tomorrow's video, there's a little bit of a hint of this, but I am going to be opening up my store for one day. So I'm going to be opening it up for one day, but it's going to be like, I got to get rid of this stuff sale. Like the big things that I don't necessarily want to ship. I've got a lot of furniture. I've just got a lot of stuff. So I'm going to be sectioning off an area where people can't go past, you know, and it's going to be like, and it's going to be hard for me, but I'm going to try not to like make it display it like I would. I probably will do some things. I'll display them, but it's going to be on November 21st, which is a Saturday. It's going to be a one-day sale, and I will be giving some bargains because I have got to get rid of the furniture that I have, the Crocs, the cookie jars, the big things that I don't necessarily want. I have tons of lamps, tons of chairs. I mean, I am going to have some smaller things out too, but you know, I'll be there. My dad will be there. I might have a couple other friends coming down. So just be looking for that. We're going to get that going, and I've already said it, so I have to do it now.
And is there any chance that on that day you could give us a live walkthrough?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can go live that day.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We're going to be like, okay, I want that. I want that over there in the corner.
Well, the thing is, you have to come and get it though, because it's like
no. I know everyone's saying road trip, overnight road trip. Nope, it's a thrifting road trip, guys. One day only.
There's lots of good thrift stores to hit up on the way. I'm not sure I've been talking with a couple other of my YouTube friends that live somewhat close by, and so there may be some other people there as well. But yeah, we'll definitely do a live.
All right, Misty will be there signing autographs.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any of your merch there that you can sign, your t-shirts?
Probably not, but if you bring your merch that you bought from me, then I will sign it then.
So order your t-shirts now, guys. Get them in time. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Misty, for coming and over to my channel for this interview. Thank you, everyone who came, and especially those who asked questions. I really, really appreciate that. We have a lot of little shout outs. We want to hopefully not forget everybody. So let me see. I made a little bit of list right after our live sale right here is over on Thrifting Adventures. She is having a live sale with Reclaimed Treasures right after this. And next Tuesday, I will be doing an interview with Desiree Martinez. And she is a video content marketer, and she also does a lot with Streamyard. So she's going to kind of give us some really great tips of how to use Streamyard and how to kind of grow our channels on YouTube. And that is next week on Tuesday. And is there any other live sales? Oh, Cindy is having a live sale at 9, right, Misty? And who else? I'll let Misty.
Cindy's thrifting again.
Yes.
Well, my sale's tomorrow.
Yes,
my
of
sale's
course.
tomorrow at 1. And Michelle, Comfy Cozy Living, her sale is Thursday at 1. I always get it wrong. I think that it's 1 Eastern. And Alex, Chapter 2 Vintage Co., her sales are Sundays at 1. So yeah, there, you know what? Some people have asked me too, when are people having sales? Basically, all you need to do is hop on of an evening or any time of day, hop onto YouTube, and then on your phone or on your computer, just hit subscriptions. And anybody that's live at that time will show up in your feed. And you could just be like, oh, they're live, and you can join their live. That's the way that I do it. That's the best way for me. If I've got time, if I'm just sitting down, then I will do that. And whoever's live at that moment, you can hop on and you can join their live. So that's what I do. A lot of people will have sales at a certain day. So if you just write it down on your calendar, you know, you can find your favorite people that you want to watch. So yeah, but yeah, make sure that you do tune in on it. I know a lot of people are really trying to build up an audience. So just every once in a while, get on YouTube and hit that subscription or subscriptions button and just see who's live and pop on and join.
Yeah, and the majority of the times, the live channels that you subscribe to will be at the top of your subscription list. At the top when they are live. But I just want to again thank you so much, Misty, for joining me tonight. All of your information is in the description. The link to your channel, the link to your Instagram. I even think I linked to your store. I'm not sure, but all of that is all of that is down below. And please, if you enjoyed this interview, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and you can subscribe to me. That would be great. I would appreciate that. But again, thank you for joining us. And that is going to be it for tonight.
Thank you so much, Heather.